one.
Sure, Mr. Rowe.
Yep, you ready for him?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. She said for one of y'all to say something to make sure I can hear.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I can hear. Good morning.
Could you give us your name and your number for the record, sir?
Kevin Rowe, 199842.
All right, Mr. Rowe. I am Mr. James. My colleagues you see on the screen there are Miss Wiggins and Mrs. Fields, and the three of us will be conducting your parole eligibility hearing today. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm hard of hearing anyways, but I can hear you fine. I just have to lean in a little bit.
Can you push your chair a little closer? Maybe push your chair a little closer. Okay.
I'm gonna try to. How do you turn this up? She's turning it up for me, sir. Okay. Yeah. Could you say
Okay, Mr. Rowe, could you give us your name and number for the record again?
something, please?
Maybe, ma'am?
Kev.
See if you can get the attention of the lady there that's with you so I can talk to her.
Recording stopped.
Kevin Rowe, 199842.
We get it's like a big delay.
The female.
When he talks.
Hello. The headphones again?
Okay. Actually,
Do you want to try without the headphones again?
Yeah, let's try that, see if that works.
Okay.
My only concern is that I want to make sure he can hear me.
Yes. Well, I got speakers here too. Hold on, we'll try it out. We're gonna try without the headphones, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
And if you can't hear them, just let me know, okay?
Yeah,
There's a delay with the headphones on. It seems like.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and start
Recording in progress.
Okay,
Can you hear
Mr. Rowe, can you see and hear me right now clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you give us your name and number for the record again, sir?
Kevin Rowe, 199842.
All right. All right, Mr. Rowe. My name is Mr. James. My colleagues you see on the screen are Mrs. Wiggins and Miss Fields. The three of us are going to be conducting your parole eligibility hearing today. It looks like you've been before a board before. You got had a 5-year deferment. Do you remember how that parole panel, how that transpired?
No, this is my first time up, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me explain to you what's going to happen. Give you a little preview. I want to start out by reading your record card. Okay, it's got a lot of information about you on there. We want to make sure it's all correct. If it's not correct, we can't help you correct it, but we will ask you to talk to a caseworker, someone there at the Department of Corrections to help you fix it if it is a problem. Then we will quickly segue from that to talking about your crime story, and you will give us the details of the crime story. So keep in mind, Mr. Rowe, that we read the crime story. We read all the attached documentation, so we have a pretty good idea. We just want you to explain to us in detail what you did. Then we'll look at your criminal history. Depending on what we find, we might have some questions about some of that. Then we'll look at your institutional behavior, sir. How many disciplinaries you have gotten since you've been there. Now we only go back 2 years on that. So if you hadn't any in the last 2 years, we won't talk about those.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. I thought you was done talking.
Okay. Okay. Then we'll look at your programming, sir. Any types of programs you might have taken since you've been there. If you have completed some programming, we might have you talk about some of that in detail with us. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And finally, sir, if in the event that you will be paroled, and there's no guarantee that you will get parole, we'll have you talk about your parole plan. That kind of includes where you're going to live at, how you're going to support yourself, what your support group looks like out there. What if any type of program in additional that you'll be taking if you do get the opportunity at parole? Does that give you a pretty good idea of how it's going to flow, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are Kevin Rowe. Your number is 199-842, and you are medium custody there at Lee Adjustment Center. You're 39 years of age. Looks like your mental health level is level 1. Sir, you're serving a life sentence for murder, criminal attempt, violent crime, murder, violent crime. You have served 19 years and 10 months, sir. You do not have any loss of good time. And you have some detainers. Looks like out of Pike County, you got some traffic charges, operating ATV and roadway and no insurance. And there's another traffic out of Pike County, reckless driving, drug paraphernalia by possess, no insurance, failure to wear a seatbelt, operating motor vehicle under the influence, aggravated Class C, speeding, 25 over. There's another one out of Pike County, drug paraphernalia by possession of controlled substance, first, drug unspecified, misdemeanor, disregarding traffic control stop sign, operating again on a motor vehicle under the influence, first, aggravated circumstances. Then there's another one out of Pike County for drug paraphernalia by possess and prescription drug, not in the original container. Then there's a last one, but not least, you have one out of Pike County. Looks like expired registration, speeding, no insurance, speeding on the highway, work zone, possession of controlled substance, first, drug unspecified, misdemeanor, drug paraphernalia by possession of marijuana, and trafficking in marijuana, less than trafficking in marijuana. Does that sound pretty accurate to you, sir?
Yes, sir. That was like 22 years ago, I think.
Yeah. You might need to think about taking care of those. Get you an attorney to take care of those for you. Because they're not going nowhere. They'll be there until somebody acts on that legally.
I never had the opportunity to have them taken care of. I know the statute of limitations is done run out, but I never had a lawyer be able to do what you just said.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rowe. Like I said before, we've looked at the crime story in detail. Now let's have you tell us about what you did, sir, on the day in question. What did you do, sir?
It's hard to remember like as the day started, because I know I got high. I remember that, but I don't remember what it was. There's no excuse, no explanation for what happened. I was literally like I was not in my body when I shot these people. I have no, like, I've thought about it time after time. Every day it haunts everything I do is literally, and I can't understand why I done what I done.
So let me kind of jog your memory a little bit.
Oh, I remember what happened. I just can't, like, there's no reason for what happened. I remember the details if you'd like me to.
Yeah, but that's what we want, sir, the details.
Okay. I was heading up the mountain on, I think it was Pond Creek, and arrived at the top of the hill where I met Mr. and Mrs. Hilton. And I can't remember the conversation, but I opened fire for some reason. And I think I put the gun back on the rack and ran, but then I came back and went and chased him down to finish what I'd started, but I can still feel his blood on my skin. If I close my eyes, I can still feel the horror of the action as I was doing it. I ran after him and chased him into a field and wrestled him to the ground. And attempted to push his head into the ground while I was hitting him. And when I thought he wasn't moving anymore, I got up and ran. And yeah, I left. That was
What kind of drugs were you on, sir?
I don't know, honestly. It was this was 20 years ago, so it was like not the same things they have nowadays. I smoked something. I really don't know what it was. That's why I can remember getting up that morning, but I don't remember a lot of what went on through the day. But I can remember vivid detail of the crime because it, like I said, it haunts everything I do. Every action I take, I want to try to make up. There is no making up. Let's just get that out there. But I want to try to right the wrongs I've done with my life and actually do something beneficial to humanity to help others where I faltered.
Let's go back to the crime story. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
that day initially, you drive up to the top of the hill, top of a hill. Was that that was
Yep.
your words, right?
Yes, sir.
At that time, you encountered the Hiltons.
Yes.
So what went on from there? What was the conversation about?
I think I asked if they had seen some people that I was looking for that was up riding around.
Okay. So let's get to the crux of this. So did you have the gun with you when you first encountered them? Did you have the gun in your hand? So what did you do?
And they both, well,
I can't hear Mr. Rowe.
Mr. Hilton said wife man
Mr. Rowe,
pulled the gun and started the fire.
You're breaking up real bad. Can you keep? I think maybe you're like looking away from
after,
the microphone and you're not hearing the voice.
I'm sorry. Is the microphone in this thing?
Oh, this is I can't understand anything he's saying.
Recording stopped.
I'm sorry. This is the only ear I can hear out of. That's why I turned. Is the microphone in this thing? Where's it at?
Mr. Rowe, do you have like any hearing devices that you use that you need
Oh.
that you can get?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything he's saying right now. I know he's talking.
There is a significant
You
lag.
said the microphone's up here.
We are having a lag in it's not just the
Yeah, that's
microphone. There is
it's like a 5-second delay, and when you say something, it's like a 5-second delay.
right. Sometimes longer.
Yeah, I can't hear anything he's saying right now.
No.
No, I can't hear anything. Yeah, I can't even hear anything now.
No, I can't either.
Just see his lips moving. That's it.
I can.
Maybe if y'all,
I mean,
this might delay us a little. It might delay us.
I didn't know the microphone was up there.
Yeah, that's a thing. I thought you were leaning into here, so
No, I'm leaning to hear this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can try the headphones again if you'd like.
I don't think it's the hearing part. There is a significant lag in the internet.
No, it.
he's crackling
Yes.
The
too.
hearing aid don't work with electronics.
Is there, maybe if they would,
Has
maybe if they could
a reverb.
reboot that computer and start over again, maybe that might help.
It's a suggestion.
We're just, I guess, keep switching these out.
Yeah.
See if it helps.
Can the staff member hear us? Can the
It's the
staff
flood.
member, ma'am? Hi. Do you think maybe if you reboot the computer, maybe that would help? There is a significant lag in the internet. It's not stable.
Yeah, like you're breaking up right now. We can't hear what you're saying. We see your lips, but we can't hear you.
Yeah. Nothing.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
I can pause longer than
No, that's not going to work.
if it would.
No, we don't need you to do anything extra. You need to be comfortable doing what you're doing.
Can you hear me right now? They can't hear me right now.
We can hear you, but it's a very long
Yeah.
lag.
You can't even hear anything right now.
I would try a reboot. It won't hurt. It wouldn't hurt anything.
Maybe this thing was on.
I see your thumbs up. I can't hear you. Can y'all hear what she's saying?
No.
No.
Maybe you could try a reboot and then try to come back into Zoom again.
Oh, they're frozen, so maybe they're.
Say, Robert. Robert, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Robert, we have them try to do a reboot. We couldn't get it. We're not being able to hear anything. It's all broken up. So they've tried everything they know how. So we asked them to do a reboot.
Yeah, it's their side. I don't think I think it's just their network right now because of the flooding and stuff going on is my thought, but we'll just have to see.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there's nothing I can do from here.
Right.
Nope.
Do you want to put the open in the waiting room?
All right, Jennifer, you ready?
Recording in progress.
We're back on the record with Kevin Rowe, number 2199842. Mr. Rowe, we were talking about when we had the technical difficulties, we were talking about the crime story. And
Yes, sir.
I was asking you initially when you came up the hill and you encountered the Hiltons, what was the initial conversations that were going on? And about what?
Basically, it was just stopping beside the road, asking if they had seen anybody out riding around.
Okay.
Really nothing of any substance, sir.
Okay, so at that time when you stopped and talked to them, did you have a weapon on you then? Did you have a weapon on you?
Not in my hand. It was my waist. I had a pistol on my waistband and a rifle on my four-wheeler.
Okay. So you were on a four-wheeler.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when you encountered them. Okay. So you exchange whatever conversation, and then what weapon did you grab and why did you grab the weapon?
I grabbed the assault weapon, and as I said, there was no reason. There's no justification for anything that happened, and there's nothing that I like. I don't remember why, but it had to do something with what I ingested earlier that day, but there was no reason for it. I can't, like, I wish I could paint a picture to show just the blankness. Like, that's the, it's a tragedy by my hands, but it's a more so that there was nobody ever deserves anything like that. And there was no reasoning or anything for those actions. There was no reasoning for it to start. There was no reasoning for it to continue. I was a child who was in a lot of pain at the time and looking to lash out, I guess.
How old were you when you committed this crime, sir?
19, just graduated high school.
Did you know the
I was diagnosed. No, sir, I didn't.
You didn't know that you did not know the
I was
Hiltons?
diagnosed with ADD, so I didn't before this. No, sir. And I've not reached out to ask for any forgiveness because forgiveness isn't warranted. But I don't want to cause anybody any more pain than, and I know only hearing from me would cause more pain. So
So you had no reason for doing it. It was just an impulse. Are you just an impulsive act?
No, I was I was high, and I don't really remember. Like, I think I was hallucinating and thought that they had wronged my brother somehow, but there's no way that that's possible because my brother was like 14 years old at the time, and that's what it said. I read the report so I could get the fine details of that, and that's what it said, that I was saying you and the judge killed my brother or something. I'm thinking was what the exact words were, but
Okay. So, Mr. Rowe, you initially took the life of Mrs. Holt. Mrs. Holt. I'm sorry, Mrs. Hilton. And at that time, did you immediately begin to shoot Mr. Hilton?
No, that's when I tried to run. Well, I put the gun back on the four-wheeler and went to turn and turned the four-wheeler around. And then I went out into the field behind him.
So when did you shoot Mr. Hilton?
I think they were separate events. Like,
when did you
there
shoot
was a
Mr.
pause.
Hilton?
Maybe.
When did you shoot Mr. Hilton?
I can't hear you.
After you
Yeah, there's no sound. There's no sound, Miss L.
Can you all hear me?
There's no sound, sir. Yeah, there's.
I can hear you
Recording
clearly.
stopped.
Yeah, this thing is.
Can someone else speak?
Can someone else
Can you
speak?
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you.
No, we can see your mouse moving, but we can't hear you.
Okay.
Can you maybe look at the audio button, click the audio button and re-click it back on again? See if that will
Everything
help.
was moving along good.
Yeah, it was doing pretty good
I'm
there.
not hearing anything you're saying.
Say, Lee, can you draw her a sign? Tell her to hit the audio button to deactivate it and hit it again and see if that'll change it.
Oh, she's got a whiteboard.
Okay. So
Hello?
now the network's catching up now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello.
Can you hear?
It's just got some lag. It's finally starting to catch up.
Okay. So you can hear us?
low network bandwidth.
We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, Mr.
Recording in
Hilton.
progress.
Okay, Mr.
I'm sorry
Hilton.
about all this. I'm not technologically.
Okay, you're good to go. It's not your fault, sir. It's your technology. We're back on the record here with Mr. Rowe. 199-842. Mr. Rowe, we were talking about the initially when you killed Mrs. Rowe. Did you shoot Mr. Holt, Mr. Hilton right after that?
It was at the same time.
Okay, so you shot. How many times you shoot him? How many times you shoot him?
It was just a burst real quick. I think he was hit in the arm and leg, both arms and one leg, I think.
Okay, so then you left and got back on you took your gun back to the ATV, but then you returned. Is that correct?
Well, I didn't leave. I didn't leave, but like the Fuller, everything was just kind of there. And
Mhm.
I walked back to the Fuller and was getting ready to leave. And I went off into the field after him.
Yeah, our report says you shot him 3 more times. Is that correct?
Yes. I was just shooting blindly with a pistol.
Right. That's what he said, the pistol with the gun. Then you
wasn't.
chased him down and you beat him with the gun. You remember doing that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have no idea where all this came, you have no idea why you did all this. You don't have you don't have a reason for doing it.
Tissue.
So you can't figure out a reason that you did this, why you did this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can you hear me, Mr. Hilton? Mr. Hilton, can you hear me? I'm sorry, Mr. Rowe. Mr. Rowe, can you hear me, sir?
I'm not hearing nothing. It's
Recording stopped.
Mm.
it's doing it again. It's
going to be a long.
She's calling. I can see your all's mouse moving, but I can't hear anything. I'm sorry.
Christy, are you there?
She can't hear anybody. She can't hear us.
We said it's just delayed. Thank you.
Like it's trying to catch up or something. She said it was earlier. It was spinning.
Can you say something, ma'am?
Hello?
I thought I heard something.
Hello?
No, I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear nothing.
Okay.
I wonder if she can just do it on her cell phone. If they have a cell phone, they might not let them have it.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna matter. I mean, it's content. Well, that's why I was trying to get up. Patty to confirm if it's on.
She's downstairs by, she thought we lost those.
Recording in progress.
Okay, we're back on the record with Mr.
Rowe.
Mr. Rowe, Mr. Kevin Rowe, number 199842. Mr. Rowe, we were talking about when you return, you put your rifle back on your ATV, and you came back with the handgun, and you shot Mr. Hilton 3 times. And then I asked you, and my question I asked you after that, sir, was, you still don't know why you did all of this.
I've thought as deeply. I mean, I know there is no justification, but like I was depressed going through and had no self-worth at the time. I was honestly in a self-destructive state at that age. I was looking to end my own life, and I lashed out I have no reason why at others for pain that was not their fault. And that is the only reasoning why, because a crime this horrific, there is no justification and no reasoning.
So
but I do know that, yes, sir.
having had time to reflect on this now for over 19 years, what are your thoughts on about the crime you committed and how it impacted the people that you?
I'm a horrible person that deserves everything that has been given, but the families, that's the one thing, not only the Heltons, but their children, their grandchildren that'll never get to know their their grandmother because of something I did. My mother and father and brother, whose lives were also destroyed because of something I did. It wasn't, it's not me. It's not who I am as a person. I despise violence anymore. I've lived the last 19 years with almost a vow of pacifism where I do not raise my hands in aggression or violence for any reason. I've been attacked in here multiple times, but I'll only defend myself when absolutely possible. I wish I could trade places. Right now, I wish to God I could trade places with that person, with Tammy and with Robin, so that just to take the pain away. I know there's no chance of me going to heaven. It says it in the 10 Commandments, but I can try to live my life helping others and attempting to help kids that was going down the bad path that I was on, if I, get a chance to speak or share. But every night I dream, I have nightmares. I'm trying to stop everything that happened, but I can't.
Okay, Mr.
Like I said, there is no forgiveness. I just hope for mercy, because I don't expect to ever be forgiven for what I've done.
All right, Mr. Rowe, that's all the questions I have for you that are related to your crime story. We're going to move on. My colleagues might have some questions for you later on in the interview. I want to go ahead and move on. We're going to look at your criminal history.
Yeah.
Looks like in 2003, you got some minor traffic stuff. Then in 2004, you had some pending charges, controlled substance. What was that all about?
One of them was marijuana and the other one was Lortab. Okay. I got pulled over. The second time I got pulled over and had like 5 pills in they was in the truck that had been parked for like a year and a half, and I really didn't know that they was still in there. And the truck had been detailed and was supposed to be clean, but apparently I'd left them in there from like a year before and got out driving around and but the one before that, the marijuana, that one was, yeah, I had that on me. I was speeding.
And it looks like you had some problems with driving DUI a couple times. Is that correct? 2004.
Yes, sir.
So how long have you you were 19 at the time? So I guess you were a little younger than that at the time.
Yeah, I was 18 for some of those. I was born in 85, so 03 would be what 17, 18-ish. Yeah. 18, I think. Yeah.
So you were getting some DUIs when you were 17 years old. Other than that, sorry, your criminal history doesn't look that bad.
My my biggest thing was always depression and self-worth, and
I'm gonna get to that. I want to get to that later on in the interview.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about your mental health. Okay. So looks like last time you had disciplinary was a minor one, which was
bed inspection, I think.
Yeah, your bed.
Well,
bed.
Yeah, my the bunk beds, and my bunkie had something hanging down from the thing, and I didn't move it. I should have moved it because they was doing sales inspections, but I made my bed and left his alone. Didn't.
Okay. You had that one disciplinary in 2024, and then you had one disciplinary in 2023. So other than that, you got a fairly it's not a bad criminal history. Nothing that I would be concerned about. So let's talk about what type of programs you have taken since you've been incarcerated.
I took it was at Little Sandy under she was a caseworker, Cheryl Edwards, and I'm thinking it was the violent offenders or anger management program. I have the certificate in my cell, but I think they put it in the computer. I graduated carpentry. I was a teacher's aide for 22 months in carpentry. I've done Go Further here, but the reason why I didn't have more programs in is they don't allow you to take programs until you're 4 years to the parole board. And if you look back, 2020 coronavirus hit, and they basically shut down everything for about 2 years. And it wasn't until about 2021, 2022, they started opening up programs again, doing everything normal. But the back wait was so long that I was only able to get in to Go Further.
Yeah, I see Go Further. You completed that. Not Go Further, but Getting Started. And that was in 24. What was Getting Started? What was that kind of program? What was that about?
It's kind of like MRT. It's recognition. It's coming to terms with who you are, what you've done, how to be a better person, more basically to get your stuff together for when you're on the streets, to have, to be able to function as a productive member of society. It even had a little part in there on balancing your budget on your checkbook, little things like that. It goes from accepting what you've done, looking at your inner self, and building up, giving you tools to succeed, basically.
I see where you signed up for anger management, trauma, and untangling relationships, and Thank You for Good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You say you got a trade. You learned a trade since you've been there. What the trade was? It carpentry, you said?
Yes. Which I did some carpentry on the street, but I did the full carpentry program and stayed on as a teacher's aide for 22 months at Little Sandy. I'm a beast when it comes to building houses.
Okay. Well, good. That's good. Now, what about substance abuse? You already indicated to us that you had some substance abuse issues. You have not had any type of programming to address that.
Well, no, because basically I've not had no problem my entire since that happened. That was I use CrossFit. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to most people, but I try to use CrossFit as a replacement for bad things in life, because if you do CrossFit, you have no option but to do it fully. You have to eat properly. You have to dedicate your whole existence to that lifestyle. And there's no time for, having good times with it. Plus, there's no way on this earth that I would ever do anything again, because it was the one single point that ruined mine and other people's lives. So I don't have no desire to ever partake of anything.
Okay. All right. So how is your mental health, man? Talk to us about your mental health. Man, we didn't see anything in the assessment but you talked
I'm
about
good.
Suicide stuff, and
I'm good. It was, it was, 19, 20 years ago, which I think everybody battles a little bit of depression, but it's not bad like it was now. I've learned that the whole world's this way pretty much, and we can either get on with our lives or let it drive us crazy. But feeling as far as that, I can't feel sorry for myself anymore because of what I've done. So that's in my eyes, that's the main thing with depression, is you just feel sorry for yourself and you don't feel motivated to do anything. And I have no reason to feel sorry for myself. So I think I've got that pretty much on lock. I don't take nothing for it because I swore off all pills and everything.
okay. So let me ask you a question, man. You took one person's life, and the other person, their quality of life has been impacted for the rest of their life because you shot them so many times. There's no telling how many issues are going on there, and then not to mention the impact of, they had kids and they had grandkids and they had other connected family.
Mother,
The
sister,
impact
brother.
that you've had on that family. Have you come to grips with that?
I have, but like I said, I never attempted to reach out because it would be disrespectful of me to try to contact them. I feel that it would, because I don't want to cause them any more pain than I already had. I've caused them the most unspeakable pain that one can ever experience. Like there's no equal to it. I think, what would it be like if I were to lose my mother or father in such a way, and it destroys me. So
in view of all that, sir, tell this parole board panel why they should parole you.
because I'm not that same person, I want to basically spend the rest of my life trying to make up for the wrongs I've done. And like I said, I know I could never do it, but my father, there's not been a man in my family live past 70, and he turned 70 in March, and he's got the electric thing in his chest for his heart that kicks it, and it's been going off regularly. And I know the truth that my dad won't live another year, and I want to get out and take care of him until he passes, and then take care of my mother, 'cause she's 68. Hopefully be able to do some good. I've got I call her my little sister, but she's my cousin. My mom adopted her and has been raising her. And, I would help drive her around for a little gymnastics and competitive cheer stuff. But basically, if I got out, I would be wanting to help my family and try to help others.
So what is your parole plan?
I would go to, if possible, I would go to Tennessee to live with my father. If not, I have my brothers in Arkansas and my mom's in Kentucky, but I would go to Tennessee, and there is a technical school down there that teaches HVAC. Now, my dad has a machine shop already set up at the house, and I used to do machine work with him when I was out before I got locked up. And I would initially go straight to doing that while going back to technical school for heating and cooling. And my cousin owns his own heating and cooling business, and he said that he would employ me as soon as I got certified. And I also have the knowledge to become a personal trainer from all my years of doing CrossFit and stuff in here. So I have multiple avenues to get out and try to do something good with my life. Hopefully one day find a woman and settle down. I don't have no kids yet.
Okay, sir, I want to acknowledge for the record that we received numerous letters of support for you and they're in your file. And we want you to know that.
It's more than I deserve.
Okay, Mr. Rowe, that is all the questions I have for you. Let me see if my colleagues have any questions for you. We'll start with Ms. Fields.
Mr. Rowe,
Yes, ma'am.
hello. I just have a question. I mean, did you normally carry a gun with you?
No, ma'am. I don't like that day was just, it was so out of the ordinary of anything that I've ever done, or like it's not me. That's why I say it doesn't make sense what I did. It was not my character to carry guns or anything. I have no reason why I had it. I've sat and thought, and I think, like I said, that whenever I smoked whatever it was, it just put me in another state of mind, and I wasn't thinking.
Okay.
I did things that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
And I just did things leading down a path of self-destruction, but I never self-destructed myself, which was the intent.
Okay. So you had said you were going into the area looking for some individuals.
Yeah.
What was your intent if you found those individuals? Do you know?
No, I was just riding and looking for a place to pretty much find my final spot, but I didn't. I lashed out at somebody else instead of myself. I think that was just like small talk, like you would passing by somebody on the road, just random small talk.
Okay. All right, sir. So if you said that you've really never addressed the family, if you could address the family, what would your words be to them?
Nothing. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I don't deserve forgiveness ever, and I don't forgive myself. And I never reach out or contacted because I didn't want to cause you any more pain than what I already have. Because even thinking about me, I can only imagine the hatred they have, and to have that person try, to have me try to talk to them, I would never, it's in my eyes, it's disrespectful. It's causing more pain.
Right.
Because I wish I could take it back. I wish I could change places. I really, every day I wish that it was me and not her.
So did you take a plea bargain or in this case?
No, went to the trial.
It went to trial. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So during the sentencing phase of the trial, did the family have an opportunity to give victim impact statements?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. At that time, did you have any opportunity to address the family?
My lawyer wouldn't allow me to say anything. He told me to sit. I was 19. He told me to sit down and shut up. Like,
Okay. All right,
I-
sir. That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Fields. Mrs. Wiggins?
Yes, thank you. A couple of questions for you. You left after you had shot the first victim and came back. What was your intent of coming back?
To basically, I would guess to stop from being caught. I guess I like I said, I can't really remember the finer details, like, because I know it
Believe
sounds
something
crazy,
with
but
did
it's
you
like a
did you
blur.
black out? Did okay, so it's a blur. Did you black out? You
No,
not recall your intent?
no, it's more like outer body, kind of like I was there, but I didn't feel like I had control. Like I was just going through the motions, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Because
So you said earlier you said that you had gone to the area, the hill, and you were looking for someone. Who exactly were you looking for? I didn't catch that.
nobody in particular. It was just small talk, just asking if they'd seen anybody riding around up there. It's
Okay.
like
Because
if you're out,
I'm a little confused, but you also said that you and it sounded like you were almost wanting to make suicide or something. Was you
no,
suicidal at the time?
at that point in my life, I did hate myself, like really bad. Uh,
Do you still?
no, I was coming out of high school. I didn't have no friends. I didn't have a path in life. I felt rejected by everybody, and only with the love of my mom, my
Did you
dad,
have did you have
and going to
difficulty in
church.
school?
Yeah.
What kind of difficulty did you have in school?
Um, I
Did
was
you have
a
did you have behavioral issues?
I was diagnosed ADD and a little slower attention deficit disorder, and
Right.
they had me in the classes for them, and just everybody picking on the people that was in that class and being mean and teasing
So you
things
were
like that.
so you were picked on during your high school years?
Yeah, junior high, high school.
Okay. What were some of the things that they did or said?
I mean, that I was stupid. I mean, that was number one. I'm in the stupid people's classes. I was kind of awkward as far as looks goes. I may still be. I kind of look the same, but um, I, I didn't play sports. I wasn't athletic. I didn't fit into any of the groups, and pretty much any mean thing that a child, yeah, like the things that they say are horrible, but like not to. There's women present, but called me gay with the other terminology, being vulgar and things like that. Just mainly picking
So
on me.
you
I was picked on
sa-
as far as physically as well, bullied.
yeah.
But
Sounds like you had a pretty difficult high school years. I'm sorry that you went through that, but sounds like you had a lot of anger maybe built up and not know how to address that. Um,
I had a lot of self-hate, anger, if that makes any sense.
yeah,
Like,
and
why
um,
am I being singled out, not understanding why. And I just got to a point in life that I was like hopeless. There was nothing else left. I felt like there was no other avenue.
You have any still some ill feelings towards others that you
No,
went to
ma'am.
high school with?
No, ma'am. I couldn't even tell you most of their names. I've found it better to forget about those who are hateful to you than to let them occupy space in your mind, because they don't care that you're being ate up alive thinking about the things they did. Their lives moved on, so you're only hurting yourself if you continue to dwell on those things.
Year would you have graduated high school, or did you did graduate?
I did 04.
04.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, okay. You you had talked about some of your, your substance use issues, and I don't see that you have completed SAP, or do you feel like you could benefit from SAP?
Not really. CrossFit has been I know most people, they don't see it because they don't know it, but CrossFit has been the one thing that saved my life for real. Because it takes everything in you to do it. Like people who get high, they have everything in their life is bad intentions, from the people they hang out with being the start of it, to the things they talk about, to the things they do in their spare time. But when you're doing CrossFit, everything in your life is dedicated to advancing your position in that, in that skill. And
Oh,
you
I'm
don't
sorry.
have
So
time
CrossFit, is that just a physical? Is it
working out
okay.
stuff.
So what have you done for your mental health and development?
CrossFit, working out, it helped, because doing it, you're pushing your body to the maximum so much that you're actually able to discover who you are up here, because the workouts are so hard and so tiresome.
So who is Kevin Rowe? Tell me who is Kevin Rowe?
Well, that's a rough one. My mom would love this one. The man that my mom raised, kind-hearted, quiet, helps anybody that needs it, asks for it, even if they don't. Somebody that wants to do good with what time they have. Nothing can fix what's been done, but try to help others not make the same mistakes that I made. And just,
Does Kevin Rowe still have anger and resentments?
no, ma'am.
All right. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wiggins. Okay, Mr. Rowe, that concludes the interview portion of your hearing, sir. But before we break and go to our break room to deliberate, is there anything that you'd like to tell the parole board?
I know this is just my first time up in front of you all, and you all have a hard job, hard decisions to make, but I beg to be able to go home and actually do something with my life, help my father in his last years of life, help my mother in her last years, and like I said, attempt to do something good for others.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rowe. Remain seated there, and we're going to go to our breakout room and to deliberate, and we'll be back with you momentarily.
All right, thank you.
Recording stopped.
Sorry, y'all got to hear that. No, I'm It's hard to self-reflect. Doing it, it allowed me to stop lifting heavy and start getting focused.
It's supposed to be for fun.
Recording in progress.
Okay, Mr. Rowe, can you
Yes,
still
sir.
see and hear? Can you still see and hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Rowe, we cannot come to a consensus on a decision in your case. So this matter is going to be referred back to the full board, which will meet this Monday. And the full board will make a decision Monday, and you will get your answer that Monday as to what our decision was.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
All right. Does it be on the tablet or?
Your caseworker, whoever your caseworker is, they will, when the decision comes in, they'll let you know what the decision was.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Recording stopped.
You too.